Hello everybody. Um, I decided to make just a quick little game video. It might not be as quick as I want it because I have a tendency to ramble on if I'm talking about video games because, let's face it, if you're a real big gamer, to bring up video games, you can talk about that stuff for hours. But the one reason why I want to talk about it is that, um, how should I start out with this? Well, let's just start off with the console war going on right now, um, and my thoughts on it. We have three big consoles out there, and there's also more that we just don't even talk about either, like the Steam box or that now Ouya, which is probably collecting dust in someone's trash can. Um, but yeah, let's first talk about the Steam box and why that hasn't really been you know, mentioned hardly. And the problem with that, and you know, um, I actually did not hear enough to really talk much about this Steam box because I really don't like talking about stuff I don't have a whole lot of information about. But the Steam box is a way to you just have the box in a controller and you download. It's more like a PC engine. They when it first came out, they said you could put your own parts in it and upgrade it yourself. And then after a while, they said, well, no, you can't really do that. So I guess because of that, it faded out of topics, I guess. So with that aside, let's just talk about PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 is doing really good, but I don't own one for my own reasons. I talked about this in later videos, but I guess I might as well bring it up again. I used to be really big into PlayStation and Sony. Um, I had PlayStation 1, one of my first consoles I ever owned, and that was awesome. Tons of great games. And, I got the GameCube a couple years later when it came out. I really wanted to play my first Mario game that I ever owned, Mario Sunshine, which I enjoyed that too, but because it was my first Mario game, I did not have a set standard, so no matter what people say, that Mario Sunshine has a nostalgia part of my heart. And I'm going to say one thing, because I bring up nostalgia, it doesn't mean a thing, because nostalgia is nostalgia. But I'm going to hold off on that before I go on a tangent because it's a part of something that I'm wanting to get into after I talk about the other consoles. But yeah, I got the GameCube, and then after a lot of years passed, enjoying the GameCube a lot, I wanted a PlayStation 2 because there were games on it like Godzilla Save the Earth that you could only play that on PlayStation 2 as far as I know, and I played that and I enjoyed it. I didn't quite know many games, and I wasn't introduced to Kingdom Hearts, but I wish I did. But I only had the PlayStation 2 for maybe a year or less than a year. I'm pretty sure it was at least a year or a bit longer. But that console did not last as long as I want, and it went slow and painful. It stopped reading DVDs after a while, then it's, struggled to read discs even. And I'm like, well, there's something wrong here. I've had this GameCube for like, 5 years, and it still runs great. A TV landed on my GameCube, like, and it still works. Like, I don't have the original one, but years ago a TV landed on it and it still worked. The only thing that got broke was the power brick cord. Power brick was smashed, but we had to get a new one, but the system still worked. Nothing was wrong with it. Played games just fine. But the PlayStation 2 took good care of it. Nothing hit it. It didn't fall off anything, and it just went and died slowly. And I waited. I didn't get it at launch either. So yeah, that's that. And ever since then, the only company I could trust as a consumer was Nintendo, because I never had hardware from Nintendo fail on me like the PlayStation 2 did. And me saying that, there are guys online that'll call me a what's the exact words? Writing Nintendo's dick. There's a guy called Black Bond who rants on Nintendo, and I only watched like 2 or 3 of his videos, so I don't know him that much. But from what I know from those videos, he is obsessed with the destruction of that company and bringing down people who like playing Nintendo stuff. And before I get into him, like I said, I want to keep that for the end of this video. Let's move on, to the PlayStation 4. I'm going to try segueing it, but I probably failed. But PlayStation 4, it's doing really good, selling really well, and that's good. Do they have games that I'm interested in? No. Tomb Raider is not coming out for the PlayStation 4. The new Tomb Raider 2 game, because Microsoft paid money for it to be on the Xbox One. And the whole problem with the other two companies, Xbox One and PlayStation 4, I want games that I can play and not be worried about if there's kids around, like the Marios and Zeldas. And there's not very many games that are like that on there, or any that are any good. Because I have siblings and I like to introduce them to games too and play with them. They need someone to play with too. And one of my siblings is my sister, and she doesn't have good parents that will do stuff with her, play with her, and I'm the only one she's got. So that's why I care a whole lot more. And I know there's gamers who are like in their teens. I'm 21 years old. So yeah, I probably don't look like I'm 21, but I am. And I'm going to also throw this out too. I have a job too. So I don't sit around playing video games all the time, but I make time to have a good game session for 2 hours. That's all I need. That's a quick fix for me. But yeah, I work at a job. 5 days a week. And just to clear that out there, because there's that stereotype about gamers. So yeah. So where was I? Talking about the PlayStation 4. I'm going to go into the Xbox One. The big reason why I don't ever want an Xbox One and is because DRM issues. They tried making it to where you could not play used games on the system, and they fired the guy who came up with that idea. I forgot his name. And it was just a bad idea. Now they're trying to back out of it. But I believe they're going to try weaseling their way back into that, into the consumer. Because, like it or not, it's all about us, the consumer, about ways we can save money for us and getting the most out of our entertainment. Now, mine could just be, nostalgia, or it could be facts. And, the Xbox and PlayStation 4, most of the big hit games I see everybody raving about, they all look the same. Third-person shooters. Now, I'm not talking about Tomb Raider or Assassin's Creed, which there's a big thing with that as well. And, being locked at 900p, which, that ain't that bad either. 900p, no, it's not that bad. I don't know why people are raving about it. Once you get to a certain 1080p, I think is good enough, because there's going to be a point where they say our eyesight can only reach up to a certain resolution. And Now I'm going to get into Nintendo. Because all the big hit games like Destiny was overhyped to the point where everybody's bashing it now. It's probably an alright game, but it's not perfect. Not by a long shot. And I've seen videos, seen Let's Plays of people who played it. It's a beautiful game, but it's not a game I'd like. Sure, it might have beauty, but it needs to have gameplay that is, riveting. Something that could, you know, make you feel good. Boss battles, not that good. Uh, Games such as Mass Effect, I got to play that on the Wii U. Mass Effect, you know, Mass Effect 3 has its own problems, the ending and stuff, but that game was great. And has big epic bosses where you fight a giant Reaper robot, and that was really great. Now, that's what most of the games look like, though, because that game is it's not quite a first-person shooter, but it comes close. It's still a shooting game. A shooter here and there is good, but all the big budget titles that everybody raves about for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, they're all shooters, and it's not that great. It's like Call of Duty as well. They make a game every year, and it's just the same damn game every year. And no matter how you put it, the only way to make that game interesting is put a gimmick in it. And the gaming community, heaven forbid if you make a gimmick in a game. And we all know that Mario Brothers now needs gimmicks too. But do I hate Mario Brothers for using gimmicks if they're done right? No. If they use gimmicks right, then they can be pretty fun as well. And there are games that were on the Wii, and there are, some games on the Wii U that kind of have a gimmicky thing that annoys me, but does it take away? Do I still enjoy the games? Yes, and I'm going to get into one of the games that annoyed me with the gimmick. And, yeah, I'm going to segue into the Wii U, and I might as well bring up that YouTuber that I have a big problem with, bashing Wii U and anyone else who wants to, and he can set, and if he does see this video, he can set and call me a moron, an idiot. I don't care. He can set up front of his cameras with all his damn trophies and act like such a smart son of a bitch. But don't set and call people stupid, because this is all nothing but about video games and stuff, but it annoys me that the mass market is just buying these first-person shooters that are all the same and bashing the Wii U, looking doom. And the Wii U is actually turning up. The last video I seen on I forgot what game channel it was, but they said the Wii U was neck and neck against the Xbox One. Now, do I want to take anything away from PlayStation 4? No. PlayStation 4 looks good. Looks damn good. But they just don't have the known titles, and they could say I'm a nostalgia whore because of Mario Brothers, but those are games I know, and those are games I know that won't fail, and that they are fun, and they're going to keep on making new iterations of them, and they're going to keep on selling the older versions on their eShop for people who are just getting born and into video games. How do I start into the Wii U? And they say, you're not going to get hardly any games. I'm trying out games I never thought I'd like, such as Assassin's Creed. I always wanted to try out a game like this. I got this for the Wii U. It plays great. Some people on the internet tried saying the game locks up when you try to play it. No, it doesn't lock up. And people who did play this version, they see graphical errors where goofy shit happens in the game. Guess what? I seen this game play on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and the game still looks the same. Goofy graphical bullshit happens. Do I hate the game because of it? No. This game's actually enjoyable. And I'm still trying to, get through it. But, sometimes, funny stuff does happen with the graphics, but does it make me hate the game? No. Do I wish they did a bit better when they made this? Yes, because there's other games in this pile who do a whole lot better job. And I'm going to do all the ones that are third-party games first. Then I'll get into the nostalgia horror pile, since that's all what Black Bond wants to call anyone who is seen with these games. Mass Effect 3. I really wanted to try out this game. I love it. Am I kind of annoyed that the other ones aren't on the Wii U's pile? Yes, but they do fill you in the game. The game looks fine. The game runs fine. What are there like a random error in the game? Of course. But does this mean that the Wii U can't handle it? No. It's a problem that no matter which version you play this, you're going to run into it. It's all about the creators. Okay? Now I'm going to wait before I get on that little piece of tangent. Maybe I won't forget once I get to it. Here's a game that runs, just fine on the Wii U. Injustice: Gods Among Us. This is a really good fighting game, runs great, just like all the other versions I've seen on the Xbox One, and I'm not taking nothing out on them. I was this close to buying an Xbox 360 so I could play Grand Theft Auto 5. So I was really close on that, but I decided to get a Wii U because all the new stuff that was coming out for it that happened at this E3 that happened a couple months ago. And that E3 really catapulted Nintendo in their sales, and everybody hyped for the games that they finally talked about. And another third-party game, Batman Arkham City Armored Edition. This game runs great. Frame rate, you really don't notice it. Is the frame rate better in Batman Arkham Origins? Yeah, in the fighting part, but Arkham Origins is a whole nother story. I have Arkham Origins downloaded onto the Wii U. That version, everybody knows that it is unstable, but fact is fact that the most stable version is the Wii U version. But does it still have its share of problems? Yes, it does have frame rate issues, but this game hardly has any frame rate issues. And I hardly ran into any glitches in this game. Arkham Origins, I don't know if I ran into any, but I think I did, but I'm not sure. I don't think I ran into any glitches at all, really. But, if I did, I can't remember, but I don't think I did, but this game runs just fine. I love this game. I played the heck out of Arkham Origins and Arkham City on the Wii U. And I'm very happy that I got to play these. And I hope that Bayonetta, that's coming out on the 24th of October, in 2 weeks, sells well. I hope it sells really well, because then we could finally have more of these third-party games, and hopefully they're not watered down, or that the developers just don't give a damn and not releasing DLC, because DLC I'm getting into if it's done good. I have been burned on a couple DLC for Arkham Origins. Pisses me off that Cold Heart ain't for Arkham Origins. But yeah, let's go to the games that Nintendo have made exclusive, and which is Lego City, what I'm holding right now. But these games are made flawless. Who knows? There might be. Well, this game has terrible load times anyway, but I think it's the developers' fault too. Yeah, let us remember, blame developers, not the Wii U, because there are games for the Wii U that the load times aren't bad at all, such as Arkham City, Arkham Origins. Their load times aren't that bad at all. This game, this game has fun ways of masking the loading times. If you go through those clear pipes in one part of the level, those are loading time sections, and they hide them well in this game. This is the best Mario game for the Wii U. Mario's latest 3D adventure, and you know, these games are made. The point I'm trying to make is Nintendo knows their hardware, and they squeeze every bit of potential out of the hardware. Now, if Nintendo had their hands on an Xbox One, I bet they'd, or a PlayStation 4, if Nintendo did branch out, which I don't think they should do, because right now, these first parties are the one things that are holding Nintendo head out of water. Now here's a game that I'm not too excited about. I did finally beat it. It's a good Mario game, but it's just not the game that I thought should have started the Wii U. But it's an alright game. Not much for me to say about it. Is it made well? Yes, of course. And here's the game that no doubt catapulted the Wii U some more. Mario Kart 8. One of the best Wii U titles on here, and Black Bond. All he had to say was nothing but crap about this, calling anyone who bought this game nostalgia whores. This is only the second Mario Kart 8 game I own, or the second Mario Kart game of the series I own. And the reason why I didn't buy the others, because I thought they wouldn't give me the feel that I had with Mario Kart 64. Maybe that's nostalgia talking, but I don't know. This game is much, much different. It shows HD that will make this game look relevant for years to come. So yeah, there's not much said. This game also has a different case like all the others. It's like Nintendo knew this game was going to save it. And yeah, let's get on to the system. The Wii U, I have it sitting over there on my entertainment system, and it looks fine. You could also, I'm going to bring up the nostalgia whoring fact. Of course, I had a Wii U. I have a Wii U. I have a Wii. I have a GameCube. I have a Nintendo 64 still. But guess what's sitting up there on my entertainment stand right next to my TV? A PlayStation 2. I went out and rebought it. Is this version of the PlayStation 2 still chug? Yes. It hardly wants to play any of the games. But does it play? Thank God. Because I have Kingdom Hearts right down there, the original versions. And I love those games. Do I have a lot of PlayStation 2 games? No. Do I play the PlayStation 2 for Grand Theft Auto? Yes. So you can't say that fine. Maybe you can say I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I guess I am. But I just don't trust other companies with my entertainment, because buying a console is a huge investment. I like Mario Brothers. I like them games. But I also like third-party games like, these. Mass Effect, Batman. Now they're not releasing the newest Batman for the Wii U, which is complete horse shit. You can talk about specs all you want. I think the Wii U could still run it. Sure, I guess they could chomp down on something, but I seen a gameplay video, and guess what? Put it in your mind that the game might look different when it does come out. Let's bring up Watch Dogs. I was thinking about getting that for the Wii U, but guess what? I changed my mind. Because Watch Dogs turns out disappointment. It might be fun for a while, but disappointment. The graphics were supposed to be a whole lot better looking. And now for the Wii U, they're not going to release DLC, which I heard the DLC was going to be, fine. Let me show you some more games that I have downloaded for the Wii U. Okay, let's see here. I have Rayman Legends, a really good Wii U title. It was supposed to be exclusive, but I'm happy that it came out for Xbox and PlayStation 4 because everybody else deserves to enjoy Rayman Legends. It's a really good game. Pikmin 3, an alright game, not the best, but the game looks downright gorgeous. Batman Arkham Origins. And that free game, which is nothing but DLC, is Tank Tank Tank, and the Sports Club I'm not going to touch on because, And I have a demo of Bayonetta. Bayonetta. That game is the best looking Wii U game I've ever seen so far. Bayonetta 2, and guess what? They're also coming out with Bayonetta 1. And the whole thing with Bayonetta 2, it's no different than Tomb Raider 2 coming out for the Xbox One. So people get mad about that, and there's people defending it as well. It's the same thing, but Bayonetta is different. The company Platinum wasn't planning on making a sequel because they didn't have the money, and the first one did not sell well at all. But the first one had critical success from critics everywhere. Why the game hasn't sold, I don't know. I think the big idea is because it's a woman character who is overly sexualized, but guess what? The game makes fun of that. The game isn't made to be serious, even though it does look serious. But it's not. The game is supposed to be funny, action-packed. It's a rush when you play it. And you all should download the demo if you have a Wii U because, the demo is amazing. Now I can't wait for Bayonetta in 2 weeks for it to come out. I'm hyped. I cannot wait. I want it now. I want it now. And, I hope Bayonetta ends up selling well. It's not selling well in Japan, but hopefully in America. But I plead that it does, because it deserves to sell well. It looks like a really good game. I've heard good things about it. I know if Bayonetta 2 sells well, it will start bringing in, it'll do good for the company. Because, sure, now I'm saying, oh, it'll do good about the company, and yet again, people will say, oh, well, he's a fanboy. Well, hey, what do you expect me to say when I went out and made an investment, $300 investment for this? I bought this black edition, which 32 gigabytes, I put a 8 hard drive on the back of it, a USB stick to add to the memory. And do I feel like I've been burned? No. And are the updating that bad? No. The updating for this game didn't take me long at all. Maybe because I waited, I don't know. But yeah, I'm not a person that goes out and buys at launch. And guess what? I waited a year before I bought this. I waited until I found out Bayonetta was coming for this console. Because guess what? To be truthful, I thought my gaming days were numbered. I thought the days that I would be relevant with the gaming community would be over. I thought the last console I'd own was a Wii. Because I was going to stop. I'm an adult now. I'm 21 years old. I don't have the money, and I have less time now to play them. But this was a big investment. Sure, I can make time. But now I have to start making money and saving up my money for, more important things and to build a life. So you can't sit there and say, well, he's a Nintendo fanboy, he'd buy all their crap. No. And it's the same with the 3DS. I got Smash Brothers. It plays well. People are saying, well, you break the thumbstick on the 3DS playing Smash Brothers. How in the hell do you break the thumbstick? I played on white hot intensity on Smash Brothers, and I almost beat it. Well, until the final boss killed me too many times, and I wasn't on that intensity anymore. But I'm like, how the hell do you break the thumbstick? Unless you're going too fucking crazy with it, but I don't know how. The game plays just fine. And I think the game's fine, and people ranting about the new 3DS. It's not coming out for America. Let's be thankful for that. But does it mean I have to get it? No. Does it mean I'm missing out on Xenoblade Chronicles? No. If I really want to play it, I'll find a copy for the Wii. That's what it came out on. I'd like to find out what Xenoblade Chronicles 2 would look like on the Wii U. But who knows? But yeah, I'm going to defend this. Whether it's burned me or not, and guess what? This system hasn't burned me. The only people that have burned me are the third-party developers who decide to ditch out on this system, not to dip their hand in the water, because it's all just a giant snowball effect. If they don't ever dip their hand in the water, dip their toe in the water for this system, then it's going to make a snowball effect where no consumers will buy the Wii U. You know, because it's all about trust from the consumer. I have trust in Nintendo because I haven't been burned with their hardware. But I am being burned by third-party developers. And there's people praising third-party developers as well, you know. If Nintendo are able to make great games and Platinum able to make a game that runs at 1080p, 60 frames per second, Bayonetta 2, that looks gorgeous, looks like a game that'll hold up well for, like I said, years to come, and Platinum is a third-party developer who has now been bought and paid for by Nintendo, even though they're not saying it, and I don't think Bayonetta is going to come to an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4. Because Nintendo gave them money for this game, and Nintendo's logo appears right in the intro of Bayonetta 2. I've seen videos of the first cutscene because I was a little curious. I wanted to dive into it a bit, but I didn't spoil myself, so I quit watching it, you know, after the first video. But yeah. The company who makes Nintendo products don't burn me. Like I said, the third parties do. You know, I do agree that, let's say, the 64 was a difficult console to program for because it was still cartridge based. But I have a 64 sitting up there and it works like new, like you bought it in 96, 97. It has great games that are still talked about to this day. Is it the greatest system in the 90s? No. Because like I said, I had a PlayStation 1. I got a 64 after I bought a Wii, because I wanted to play 64 games. I wanted to see what they're about. Now I have a pretty good collection. I thought the only thing I was going to do once my gaming life ended was just collect cheap old games here and there. But now I'm back in relevance. because I decided to invest in the Wii U, and I'm happy I did. I get all the games I want without any of the distractions of Blu-ray player, DVD player, TV. Why do you think I have that cable box sitting there for? Why do you think I have that TV screen? If I get an Xbox, what am I going to do with all the junk that plays cable? Heck, I'm planning on getting my cable shut down because it ain't worth it. Cable ain't worth it. You know how much I'm paying for cable? Well, I don't pay it, but I am going to end up starting to if something happens to the people I'm with. It's about $80 a month. Internet only costs $14.99. Once they go, I'm shutting cable down. I'm only going to pay $14.99 for my entertainment. Cable ain't nothing. So the Xbox and PlayStation 4 can talk about TV all they want. TV is irrelevant. I can't even sit and turn it on and enjoy it. Because as soon as nothing but commercials, I flip the channels, commercials this, commercials that, endless commercials. A half-hour show is actually whittled down to 15 minutes because all the commercials that they show. It's true if you actually do time out your show. That's why. And Nintendo tried dipping their foot in TV, but guess what? This is not made. It has a TV guide. It lets you control your TV. But that's not what they're about. It's a cool feature to make it easier to work with your TV a bit. But it's not forced. It's not what it's supposed to be. They dip their foot in it just a teeny bit, but it's not their primary focus. And internet play with games, multiplayer, it sure as hell's better than the Wii. Would I be happier if they'd finally make voice, chat in multiplayer games? Of course. That's the only thing I'd rather have, but guess what? Sure, Nintendo might not be trying it, but it'd be good if third-party developers would try it as well. So yeah, I'm going to end this video. It's been 30 minutes. I just wanted to talk about this stuff. Just saying, I'm not burned by Nintendo's hardware. I'm checking my clock. I'm not burned by Nintendo's hardware. And I'm going to beat it like a dead horse, but it's the third parties. I know we have to feel sorry for them because they have to program for these systems that all three of them work different. But that's their job. How do they expect to, like I said, it's just one giant snowball effect. That's why I hope Bayonetta does well, so those third-party guys could come in. Then the snowball effect will reverse itself and start bringing in more consumers. And consumers are coming to the Wii U. Not many. I'm not saying a lot, but a few. I hope Bayonetta brings in a good number of buyers. Because if it don't, then nothing is going to change. And, I'm going to accept that. It's not. Believe it or not, Nintendo is trying to change their ways from the Wii. We're seeing it. I'm seeing videos about, Bayonetta. Hell, it's a rated M game. Partial nudity, blood, gore, violence, swearing. And then there's a game that Nintendo does have a trailer for on their YouTube channel, which in the first part of the trailer they say, "Die, motherfucker," in the first minutes of the trailer. I think it's called Devil's Third. I think. I haven't seen much about it. It was a game that was canceled, but Nintendo brought it to the Wii U. Which I kind of agree why they're not talking about it on their talking about it much, because it's a very, it's something else. But I'd like to try that out too, because it's more of an adult game. Sure, I like to play Mario Brothers every once in a while, but I need my fix of a more adult game for my age. So there you go. I'm going to end this video before I keep on rambling on and on. I just wanted my voice to be heard.